Well, gals, technically. Gals right now are being me very entertained.
I know. You have, quite the robust chat here going on. This is wild.
Yeah, I mean, it's not often where I mean, it's not too hard to get me to talk, but
Yeah, yeah. So we're talking relationships, huh?
right, right. So you have, they they ready with the questions.
Oh my gosh, shoot. Okay, so I know when I hopped on a couple minutes ago, we're talking about ghosting, you were talking about some polyamorous thing. That's when I first like
Uh,
tapped in.
Polygamy and monogamy.
Okay. So what do y'all want to talk about? We could talk about all of that. I could spit some facts. Like how do you want to do this?
So I had told them that we are creatures that are not supposed. We are not lonely creatures.
That's true. That is very, very true. We are, we're descendants of chimps and apes. We tend to live in a social society, most of us, majority of us, and human touch is very, very important. Um, there's a study with orphans in different orphanages, and they did a compare contrast. Those orphans that were nursed and touched and played with in comparison to orphans who were just fed and that was it, their development was night and day. The ones who were caressed and played with and nurtured as they were developing in their first, early years of life, turned out they actually grew better and healthier in comparison. So that's absolutely true. We do need companionship growing up and in our lives. We don't really thrive that well alone.
Right. I think that's the research that I had originally heard from. That's why I said that earlier.
Yes. So, okay. So far, so good. So far, so good. What other questions do we have?
Yes. What questions do we have, guys, about relationships? We talking relationships
I know
tonight.
we were talking.
What
Oh,
be
one point about ghosting I think is really interesting.
traumatic?
It's it is absolutely traumatic. It's awful. It's awful that we've developed into a society that this is acceptable behavior.
My heart hurts.
I know, it's so bad. Um, so thing about ghosting is that um, it's awful. What happens is you're actually creating trauma whenever you do that or when it happens to you. It's very psychologically damaging. So next time you feel like, oh, I'm not feeling this person, it's okay to just not respond. It becomes this craving thing. It's like a dopamine rush every time you message someone, and then all of a sudden, when you take it away, this is actually sociopathic behavior. It's like psychopathic behavior. It's really, really bad. It's very manipulative on both sides. So then you have this person who's craving communication, and the other person is not giving any communication, and this back and forth is very psychologically damaging. And then when you multiply it with however many times you've gotten ghosted or have ghosted someone, I mean, that's why a lot of people are a little crazy in the dating field nowadays because it happens so bad. It happens so often. It's
Yeah,
awful.
definitely does.
So that's the psychology behind ghosting. It's really traumatic, actually. It's like micro traumas over and over and over again.
Stop ghosting people, guys.
Yeah, really bad. Just, be straight up, be forward. It's awful to say sometimes, but you're doing yourself and someone else a favor to just be straightforward.
Straight up. Yes. Be grown,
Hmm.
guys.
That's right. Be grown.
So we have Christy, and Christy said, "What happens if you can't find a partner? What do you do?"
If you can't find a partner, I think a great place to start is to kind of sit down with yourself, go back to your old relationships, and make a list of all the things that went really, really well and all the things that did not go really well. And then dissect those things that didn't go well. Like how much of it was his or her fault? How much of it was my fault? What can I do to be better so that in my next partnership, I'm an evolved version of myself. So the
Mm,
more you work on yourself, actually, the higher you elevate, and the higher your frequency emits, and then you attract people at that frequency. So you become healthier and healthier and healthier, and the partners you attract are also healthier and healthier and healthier. A lot of inner work.
right. See? Good.
Mm-hmm.
She said, somebody here said we need you in our life. User, well, Samantha Pizarra said, why do men and women cheat?
Why do they cheat? Insecurities. It always it comes down to that. We can complicate it or simplify it, but it's always insecurities. And when you are not when you are not safe and sound within yourself, and you're trying to seek safety in someone else, you kind of put them on a pedestal, and you create this ideal version of a person when you're dating them. And when you do that, you're setting that person up for failure. That person is never going to meet your expectations. And then what do? While you're hugging someone, you're looking over their shoulder to see who else is out there. And that's why people cheat. You think that the person beyond the shoulder is better, but chances are they're probably not. And you keep feeding yourself. There's like an empty hole. Think of it like a bucket with a hole on the bottom. And you keep watering this bucket, but it's never going to fill up, because until you patch that hole in the bottom and work on yourself and be secure, that bucket is insecure. So insecure people cheat, essentially. Long story short.
That's great. That's great.
What else we got? What else we got? Why are you laughing?
Because she said, doctor, next question. How do we clone Jamie?
Listen, if I had that solution, I would be a trillionaire.
Yes, yeah. Oh, yeah, so everybody definitely agrees with you. Um, what about keeping your ex as a friend? Spicy. Ooh, we getting spicy with these
Well,
questions.
that's a spicy question. It really, honestly, it really depends. And I think the safe answer is your exes are exes for a reason, and it's better to kind of keep it moving. However, I say there's a little nuance to this. It really depends on how secure and safe you are within yourself and how that relationship was. Because if it was a healthy relationship and you both mutually agreed to part ways, you could probably wish them well and kind of be friendly and cordial, but at a distance. I don't think it's ever a good idea to be very close after you've both mutually agreed to part ways. Unless you have kids, then you have to co-parent, but that's a different story.
Right, right, right. And also depends on your partner. If you have a partner that is okay with you being friends with the ex because they're secure enough within themselves and they trust you enough to know that you're not gonna do anything that you shouldn't be doing, then it's okay.
Agreed, agreed. It always comes down to security and maturity in relationships, for sure.
Because you know, there's some relationships they're like, oh hell no, you're gonna be
Oh
friends with.
yeah.
Me.
Hell yeah. And listen, if you're in some toxic shit, fuck out of here. Like you need to block and delete and never look back.
I have no guy friends either.
Let me see your phone. Let me see your phone.
Yo, they'll be sick.
Hmm.
Any other questions for Dr. Kathy?
Let's see what we got here. Thank you so much, Gabby. Your hair is nice. Thank you. Oh my gosh, your followers are so sweet.
Yes, they're the best.
Oh my goodness, how sweet.
So for everybody that just came in, we have Dr. Kathy here to answer some facts, some
What's
questions
up?
they want to know facts about. Topic of
Oh,
relationships. She is beautiful.
thank you. Thank you, Rhonda. You're so, so sweet. And Miss Nez, that's a good question. Relationship versus companionship. So we actually have an expert on companionship, but I think she took a nap. Um, she's knocked out. I apologize. I will try my best to share her expertise. Relationship versus companionship. I think so. Companionship can be, you can find that in a relationship and you can find it in friendships. You can find it in people around you. Companionship means it's kind of like a social creature situation where you're spending time with people, you're creating bonds, you're creating and kind of like spider webbing yourself to other people to create like a firm foundation to yourself, for your life. Um, those social connections you need to have a very healthy life. So you could find them in your relationships, absolutely. Relationships, usually, I guess the excluding factor between relationships and companionships is sex, right? Relationships, you're doing physically intimate things with another person. So that companionship is a heightened companionship. Which one is better? In my opinion, as a person, I think companionship is always going to be better. Because think about it, your friendship breakups are a lot worse than your relationship breakups, right?
Right.
There's a reason for that because that bond, that companionship bond is a lot stronger than anything else.
Hmm. I guess that
So
you kind
it's
of
it's
try
a
more with your
huh?
details.
What happened? What happened?
I said it kind of makes sense because now
Mm-hmm.
you're trusting that person with like more intimate details than your partner. Sometimes you keep certain things reserved from your partner because you don't want your partner seeing you a certain way. But with your friends, you don't give a shit how they see you because they just
Exactly. Exactly. I mean, think about your besties, right? You tell them some raunchy details about your life that you may or may not tell your relationship.
right,
Or, like you'll probably take a dump in front of your girlfriends, but you may or may not do that in your relationship.
right,
I
right.
don't know. I've like seen it all, heard it all, but it's really interesting how that kind of happens, right? I know girls who will like never shit in front of their men, but they'll do whatever
No
in
girls
front of
like
their girlfriends.
that's true. So Shay says, "Why is it easy to be single? Are titles necessary?"
Why is it easy to be single and are titles necessary? Um, it's easy to be single because you're only relying on yourself. You're not, you don't, there's no expectations there. You don't have to live up to anyone's expectations. You don't need to do anything for anyone else. You do whatever you want for your goddamn self, right? So I guess in that sense, it's absolutely easier to be single. And what was the second part? Oh, labels, right? Labels for relationships. I think that depends on you and your partner. I think as, as secure women like men who are very firm in what they want. Men are very simple. It's pretty much black and white. If they want to, they will. Point blank period. If they want to, they will. Once they set a goal, whether that's if it's at work, with family, in relationships, friendships, once they set a goal, I want this promotion, they will do whatever they want, whatever they can to make sure they get that promotion. I want that girl. They will finesse, learn a language, travel across the world, whatever they need to do to get that girl. They will do whatever it takes to get that girl. So if you are a woman, create your boundaries. And if you want a man and you want that man to be your boyfriend, exclusively dating, make that very clear. And if that man also wants that, he will make sure it's exactly that. And if he doesn't want that, he won't do it. You're wasting your time. Keep it moving.
Keep it moving.
Mm-hmm.
Let's just do some shots and forget relationships. Kathy, don't tell her that she's with it.
That would be the easiest, right? That would be the. Ooh, this is a good one. Gabby asked a good one. Is there life after being in a toxic relationship? Yes, there is. There is, there is, there is, there is. Yes, 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 100%. That is a good question because I think a lot of people end up in toxic relationships because of unhealed trauma and things like that. The one piece of advice that I can give you medically and as a person, is that when you get out of a toxic relationship, first of all, congratulations. You have just aged backwards, okay? You've saved yourself mental stress. You're going to start sleeping better at night. And now you're at rock bottom, and the only place to go is up. Very important, okay? That's number one. Life after a toxic relationship is hard. You're going to get cravings because it's an addiction, right? You're going to want to talk to them. You're going to want to text them, stalk them, see what they're doing. And 9 times out of 10, they're putting on a show on social media to portray their lives a lot better than it really is, to
Right.
make you feel like shit, and it doesn't help. The best thing to do, no contact, block and delete, no matter how difficult it is, just do not reach out, do not check on them. You need to go inwards, start journaling, go to therapy, make that pros and cons list. What worked, what didn't work, and know your self worth. Learn to love yourself. Fill up your life with things you love to do. Spend time with your friends and family so that you don't have time to think. And just like anything else, time will start to heal all. Once you start enjoying your own time, you start having fun, you're doing all these things, you're laughing more. It's like, who was that person? We don't know him. Ex who? Toxic who? Not me, no more. You're just new and evolved person. So yes, 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 there is a life after toxic relationship, but you have to do the work and it won't be easy. You might
Yeah.
relapse, you might go back to them, you might come out again, but you need to keep trying, keep going.
Always push forward.
Always, always push forward.
So I have Samantha. Seems that she got some issues. She says, Dr. Kathy, why do I crave attention from men? Love to lead them on and then ditch them.
Why do I, okay, hold on, wait, I gotta like, okay, why do I crave attention from men? Love to lead them on and then ditch them. It's a dopamine rush. So you crave, it's kind of like the chase, and guys are notorious for this. So I'm actually really, it's interesting to see it from the flip side, right? When a woman does this, and it's kind of like a chase thing, right? You chase, you chase, you chase, you chase, and once you get it, you get that dopamine ding, which is the pleasure center in your brain, and your brain lights up, and you feel that rush, and then you're like, okay, on to the next. You get bored. Um, it's a dopamine rush. Some people have stronger dopamine rush connections than others. I'm not saying it's a good thing or if it's healthy or not, but that's the explanation as to why that happens.
Jump off a plane. Save all the men's time. uh,
Fair enough. That adrenaline rush will definitely switch to dopamine for sure.
Question: is it right for the man to be able to be with others and not okay with the woman doing the same thing?
And so that's like polyamory border stuff, right? It's about setting ground rules. Um, there are relationships where both people are okay, they mutually agree, hey, we're both going to see other people and it is what it is. There are some, it's like kink stuff also, like you could be in a polyamorous relationship where you're single, you're monogamous, but you want your partner to, and that is attracted to, that's attractive for you, like that gets you off, that's your kink,
Yeah,
and that is attractive to you,
yeah,
and vice versa. So it comes down to communication, trust, and what you both agree on. It's absolutely there's all the combinations, all the above, none of the above, and everything in between exists. But you need to find people that are on the same exact page as you. Otherwise, broken trust. That's where you get into infidelity issues and all of that.
right.
Ooh, this is a good question. Can a narcissist partner change? No, no, they can't. I'm sorry, Brenda. I know that it takes everything in a codependent to want their partners to change, but they don't. That's just who they are from childhood. They have a very, very hurt and shallow ego, and they will create this massive facade on top of them, around them, to superinflate themselves, to manipulate, to give themselves a reward. That will never change. It's literally, it's rinse and repeat, just different person. it doesn't change. You need to get out of that ASAP for your own sake. I'm gonna just tell you like it is.
No, definitely, definitely. Yeah, they don't change. That's embedded in them.
Never.
That's not gonna change. And sometimes, like I said earlier, is females being the nurturers. They are the motherly instinct that you guys have. You guys feel that you could do something for that person subconsciously. You're not doing it consciously, but subconsciously you think you could actually deviate that person from that path into something better. It's not gonna happen.
Exactly. Ms. Ness, you put it perfectly. They change partners, not habit. Absolutely. Narcissists are like parasites. Think about it like that. Once they latch on, they're like leeches. They latch onto a host, suck out all the blood they possibly can, and once they're full or there's no more blood, they fall the fuck off, right? It's exactly the same. They will just keep doing that and doing that and doing that as long as you let them. As long as you have a bucket to empty, they will take and take and take and take and take. And for them, their bucket is the one with the hole on the bottom, so it'll never be full. So they just keep taking and taking and taking. So once you recognize those narcissistic signs, yeet, just go.
Let him see the dust.
Exactly, exactly. And is a cheater always a cheater? Ooh, juicy question. Um, what do you think, Jamie?
I think that a cheater, like you said earlier, does it for security reasons. But there's some cheaters that may cheat because they feel like they're missing something, or they haven't been fulfilled enough, or in the right way. But I think that when they actually come across that person who they feel completes them, and I don't know, they feel like there's nothing more to look for, I think they'll give it their all. They'll settle down. But on the average, like 9 out of 10, I don't think so.
Yeah, I agree with you. I think it comes down to security. We're all human, so people do fuck up. Fine.
Right?
If you genuinely temptation got the best of you and you felt awful, the guilt is eating you alive, you literally cannot sleep at night anymore, and you take that mistake, you really sit with it, and you make a profound change and you never do it again, I think that's genuine. I think that's fair. However, then on the flip side, if it's something, if it's that ego hungry thing where you're insecure and you just want to keep going and going, hugging and looking over the shoulder, that's a set pattern of behavior that's not going to change. So yes, once a cheater, always a cheater in that case. So it depends. I think it's case by case basis here.
Yes, yes.
Jamie, I think you found your podcast partner.
So then I'm gonna find out how to make those. I'm still in the process of seeing how to create a podcast.
Okay, okay. That's cool.
We did have somebody here. It was, where's she at?
Sorry, the
Nurse.
comments go super fast. So if we don't get to your question, just resend it so it comes up like in real time, okay?
Yeah, right now we could only see three comments. So
Yeah.
if 10 of you send a message, we missing like 7. So I know Nurse in Progress said, "Can you ask the doc if I should fly to New York, basically, to see me?" They need doctor advice. Uh, so yeah, so right now for everybody who just came in, we have Dr. Kathy in the house. She's giving us facts about relationships. So if you guys have any questions when it pertains to relationships, please do ask her. We have her here finally. She's up past her bedtime. So take advantage, full advantage, use her and abuse.
And yes, and Jamie knows my bedtime is what, like 9:30, 10 o'clock. This is I am wild right now.
Usually nine Class, she comes on the live and she says good night.
I literally say hi and then bye. Oh my goodness. Okay, let's see. Any new questions?
All right, Gabby, have a good day at work. Listen, I hope that little by little you work on yourself and getting yourself out of that funk and not lose hope and finding somebody who's going to appreciate you and love you and respect you for who you are. Cornelia. Ooh, I like Cornelia. 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 It's a nice name.
This is so stupid.
Yeah, I used to know a girl in high school, and her name was Cordula, right? Sounds nice too. Cordula. Puerto Rican girl. Anyways, so for some reason, I mixed up her name and I ended up calling her. What is the girl from the Little Mermaid, the evil chick? What's her name?
Ursula?
Ursula. I called her Ursula.
Oh,
She was like, "My name is already fucked up enough as it
that's pretty awful.
is." Yeah, they don't even nowhere near each other. I don't know what happened that day.
Oh my goodness.
Mm-hmm. Rhonda, have a good night. Thank you for
Good
stopping.
night, Rhonda. Thanks for your compliment. You're so sweet.
Yes, definitely.
I can't believe you call someone Ursula. Did you deadass call someone Ursula?
Yeah, yeah. I was like, Ursula. She was like, what did you call me? I was like,
I'm
Ursula.
not I'm not gonna lie, I would have smacked the shit out of you.
Wow.
I'm just kidding.
Physical up in here.
I would have smacked the shit out of you, like mentally, definitely. Like, what you say?
uh, don't get scared, guys. She actually is a doctor. She is a doctor, but she from the hood, so
Yeah, I born and raised BX. I'm from the Bronx.
from the Bronx, guys, from the Bronx.
Don't let the alphabet soup fool you. That's what I tell my patients.
Alma, what's up? Thank you, Rachel. I appreciate all those gifts. So, anybody else has any more questions for the doctor? I mean, by now, it doesn't really have to pertain to a
It could be anything.
relationship. Yes, you
It
guys
could
have
be anything.
a funny rash somewhere or something. You
Oh
don't
my
know.
God, please.
No, no. I'm sure she's had enough of those for the day. So,
Way too many. Yo, if you see my camera roll, it's literally like I have pictures of so many asses with rashes. It's like really, it's gosh, life of a
Just-
dog, man. It's like
what is the best advice you could give everybody in general to avoid these rashes? Wait, yeah, sit down.
wipe
Something.
your ass. No.
Uh,
Am I single? Yes, I'm single. What kind of doctor? That's a good question. I work in emergency. I was in the ER for a long time. Now I'm in urgent care.
yeah. So when you guys go to urgent care, she is the main doctor there.
Yeah, yeah. I'm the one who sees everybody.
Yep. You know how they got somebody that checks you, and they say the doctor will be in a little bit, and then somebody else comes in to check you, and the doctor will be in a little bit.
I'm the final boss.
uh,
How old am I? Guess. I would love to. What do y'all think? How old am I? Ah,
yeah.
fuck. I'm wearing a fucking Mickey Mouse sweater. That makes me look like I'm 12 today.
Right. So young. Guess what? Yeah, I want to see numbers. I want to see numbers.
Yeah, I want to see numbers too. I'm super curious.
Iris,
Oh.
what's up? How you doing? 28. Ooh, nice. Ricky said 47. Ricky, you get blocked. Kathy said late 20s. Shay said 25, 24.
Okay. Okay, okay. Moonshine shouldn't ask a lady's age. Oh, okay, okay. 30s. You guys are all very close. I'm 29. I'm 29. I'll be 30 in April. So right on the border. I'm a baby doc.
Aries.
Aries season. Almost. Not yet. In my head.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, Layla was close. Yes, yes. Super cool. Yeah, relationships, toxic relationships, self-healing, self-love, security, insecurity, ego. These are all massive, massive themes that keep reoccurring, you know, as you go through life. So it's like a juicy topic. I love this shit. So please, if you have any more questions, this is the latest I've stayed alive. Did you hear me? The latest I've stayed up in so long.
Yeah, it's just because you don't really live unless you spend time with me. So it's the
I
longest you've
know.
lived. Yes, that's
I know.
true.
You know what's so funny? I was in Amityville today,
Hmm.
super close. And then I was about to text you, but I was sleepy. And I'm like, you know what? Before I become super drowsy, let me get home. I got home, I go on TikTok, you're live. I knew it. I was like, boom.
And you wired now.
Yeah, now I'm wired. I'm drinking chamomile tea to get sleepy, and I'm wide awake.
I just drank a cup of coffee, so
Of course you did.
Miss Ness says, "What is your take on long
Ooh,
relationships?"
great question. Great question. Okay, so do you want the medical answer? Do you want like personal experience answer? Like
I think that we could have all three.
all the aboves? Okay. Um, so long distance is tricky. It really depends on a lot of things. So are we talking you both met in the same city, you were together, then like some work thing happened and one of y'all had to move? Like are we talking about that situation, or did you both start separately and now you're gonna come together? Because that's a different
Ooh,
situation.
maybe she means like you meet somebody online and they live like
Like in California.
right, right, right.
Okay, so that's tricky, right? Because you only see that person. Thank God for technology, number one. So there's pros and cons, right? One, you have access to so many different people because of this little tablet that we now have chained to our bodies 24/7, right? That's amazing. However, at the same time, you only see this person on a screen. You don't get to touch them. You don't get to hold them. You don't get to smell them. Pheromones are very important in attraction. You don't get to see their habits, their routine. You don't get to see their routines. Um, you don't get to see, do they sleep with the window cracked open? Do
So
they snore at night?
that's what we talk about right now. Go ahead.
Yeah. So, do you like all these little nuances? And at the end of the day, when you're together in person, these things can be make or break things. For me, snoring is like my utmost deal break. Snoring and smoking. Like, if I find out you snore, I will walk out the door and never come back. Dub, right? Um, but it depends on commitment also, right? So you miss a lot of things, I think. And then when you're in a long distance relationship, say you've been long distance for 2 years, if you actually add up the time you've actually spent in person, it's close to 6 months or so. That's not that much time if you think about it. So there's this delusion, I think, with long distance relationships. You think you've been together for so long, but you actually haven't. Also, it's fucking expensive. Plane tickets are very expensive. Phone bills, trains, whatever method of transportation, gas, all of that. It's really expensive. I do not recommend at the end of the day. Yes, you have those people who are super committed and you're working together to get in the same city and you're actively working towards a goal and you get together, chemistry is great, and then you're married, la la la, and you live on forever happily. That's fine. That's the ideal situation. 9 times out of 10, it doesn't really work that way. So I would say be a little weary. So that's like my overall answer. My personal one, to be like a little bit juicy, sprinkle a little bit of juice in there. And I've done long distance relationships. I had three of them. One was one almost ended up in marriage. So that's the thing. We didn't get married, but I had one from New York to Chicago. That was back when I was in college, flights back and forth. I was a broke college kid. You ask me how I paid for these flights, I have no fucking idea. Like, I have no idea. I definitely finessed money out of my loans or some shit to keep going back and forth. I don't know. But it gets expensive. But you learn that after 2 years, you don't really know a person. That was a little shaky. And I've done long distance from New York to California. I've done long distance from the Middle East to New York. That one had a lot more of a commitment. So there was a end goal. Um, but then at the end of the day, when we finally ended up together, I missed out on, like, I realized that this person was not who this person was on the iPhone.
Mm,
The long distance that I thought was a little bit more realistic was when I was in school in Cleveland and I was dating a guy in Detroit. That was a 2 hour drive. So I saw him every weekend, which, even if you live in the same city, if you're working 5 days, sometimes you only
right.
see your significant other on the weekend. So I think that was a little bit more realistic. Um, so, there's a lot of factors. Long distance is, you could be cross country, cross worlds, cross states, cross cities, across the street. Depends on what your definition of long distance is, right? So that's my 2 to 3 cents on that.
Nah.
Long-winded answer, but a little bit of both.
So yeah, somebody how do you said how long can you go without getting what you need out of your relationship? Long distance can't do. I guess they
How
talk
long?
about the physicalness.
Oh, physical. Ooh. Well, see, that's like a massive minus, if you are someone whose love language is, what do you call sensation? What is it called? Feel? What acts of service? Is it touch? Is it literally called touch? Okay.
I think so.
Yeah. So if touch is your love language, you're kind of setting yourself up for failure a little bit because you're going to end up frustrated. Um, it's really as long as you can go and hold out because we all have urges. We're all human.
13 months, baby. I went 13.
You went 13 months. That's the longest I've gone.
Nothing. Nothing. Nothing.
I think 6 months, but then at that point I got desperate and booked a flight.
But it sucked because I had a lot of wet dreams and it sucked. 2.5 years, Jasenia? Nothing. No, nothing. We talk about nothing. No.
I mean, phone sex is kind of
Best
fun.
3 4 hours, 4 months. Jeez.
Damn, y'all are warriors. I could never. I'll be honest.
Uh, not a damn thing. I don't know Jasenia. I think Jasenia is lying to us. Jasenia, look at me. This is about honesty. We being honest in
Yo, you guys are hilarious.
Shante said I tried 5 6. Listen, guys,
God
we're
bless you.
nothing. You not touching yourself. You're not leaning against the dryer. You're nothing. We talk about nothing. No bicycle rides on bumpy roads. Nothing.
Jamie, the dryer is very specific. Do you have some experience with that?
Sometimes you're standing there drying it, and the thing is like, and you just happen to lean in, and it's nice and warm. I'm like, hey.
Have you personally experienced this?
No, I'm just thinking like that's something people
Ah,
do.
I know every woman in this chat is hysterically laughing because I don't think that's a realistic
It's
situation.
like, does that work? I might have to.
Watch us all, we all about to go try this when the dryer's on next
Gonna lean against it like. Mm. Millie said, creepy. I think women hold on more than men. Absolutely not. Um, Facts. The doctor could tell me if I'm right or wrong. Women are usually more hornier than guys. You just know how to control it better.
I'm just reading all these comments. Yo, you guys are hilarious.
The dryer isn't cheating, is it? Wait.
Well, nurse in progress is like, I'm getting off to dry my clothes.
Uh, Showerhead works. No, no. We're talking about selling. We're talking about not doing anything. We're not talking about things you could use to substitute something. We talk about you not doing anything at all. How long has it been? What's the longest that you guys have gone without any type of touch or feel of anything? And
I think
somebody,
mine was a couple of months.
nice, nice. Cornelia, thank you so much for stopping by. I appreciate you. Sorry that you regret your marriage. I am reading your messages. You know, I just didn't want to interrupt the doctor while she was talking. That's all.
Oh, good night, Cornelia.
He has said 1 year. Sheesh.
Damn, y'all are warriors.
Him
Y'all
said
are
one.
warriors.
There you would go. Some honesty up in here. One
Damn.
week, Raider said.
Yeah, I've gone like a couple months. Maybe, I think 6 months was the longest I've
Sheesh. So, let me see. So, something please myself today. Does that mean I have to say it today? Yep. That's it. No, we're just saying, like, period. Like, what is the longest that you have gone without any type
gone.
that you've just held off just for. Actually, guys, like when you guys hold off, you guys will notice that you have more of a mental awakening and you see things a little bit more clear because you don't have sex clouding your judgment.
That's
Um,
very true.
Sex does cloud your judgment and the way you think about things. So once you get past the horniness, like 3, 4 months, you will see things in a different light. And just for you guys who just came in here and don't know, this is Dr. Kathy right here. She's a real doctor, not make believe. And if you have
God, I hope so.
any questions that you may have for her or concerns, you're more than welcome to ask. We have been focusing the topic on relationships, but if you have any other questions for her, you're more than welcome to ask.
Hi, Kim. How are you? Jasenia, I am an emergency doc.
She's the doctor at urgent care.
Yeah. What's up, Nina? How are you?
New York,
Did you
baby.
did you see the comment earlier when someone said that we would look good together?
I did. That was like the second person that said that. Like, oh, you guys will look cute together.
That's
Brooklyn,
so cute.
okay?
Yo, Brooklyn in the house.
But who's counting?
What was that conversation that we had the other day about remember we were talking about relationships and then we both said, "Yo, this would be a good topic to go on live about." Do you remember that conversation? Do you remember? Like we said it around the same time. We were like, "Wait, this is actually something that we could absolutely talk
I
about."
talk
Do you
about.
remember? It was a good topic too. It was about dating.
Mm-hmm.
It wasn't about trust. Oh my God, it was a juicy topic too, I remember. Damn.
Damn, I don't remember. I remember when we said that.
Yeah, I exactly. I remember us saying, "Yo, this could be a good topic." Ooh, that's a good question.
All right, so Rennie, Riri, listen. If somebody is asking you for money cards, they're not. They're not. From my experience, from my experience. the people that ask me for cards is because they're not from the United States. They're usually from another country. They portraying to be somebody else. You know, they catfishing you, so you could send them these cards with money, and they probably live in a usually in the third world country or poor country. So
100%.
if you're talking to somebody and they keep asking you for like Apple cards, gift cards, any of that, they're not from this country. So usually the best way to know, you ask them where you from. If they say from the USA, from the United States, they're not from here.
And also, ladies, men should be paying you, not the other way around. Okay.
Unless
Punto.
that man is me.
I can't.
Uh,
That's
I'll let you talk to that.
difficult question, eh? Really great question though. Husband wife not having a relationship for years, not being intimate for years. That that's a massive conversation you and your partner need to sit down and have, right? There is some sort of disconnect, right? Whether your lives became all about the children and all you do is talk about kids when you actually do interact, it's important to um, make some time every week to really go on date night and reconnect and figure out the commitment that you have, because marriage, at the end of the day, every day you wake up you choose that person, right? And so if there is no intimacy, I think you both need to stop and smell the roses and be like, okay, well, this isn't happening anymore. Is this fixable? Can we work on it? Or is it time to go separate ways? Because no one should live that many years without, doing the deed. That's torture.
Right?
It's
Like,
not
and
human.
then how important is it to you? How important is intimacy to you and your? That's also matters. Listen,
Yeah.
I've been guilty. I will listen. I will. Let's keep it on the eye right now, right? I have been guilty in the past. Um, I had a girlfriend at the time, and she said, "Come here for a second," and I said, "Oh, okay, I'm in trouble," those type of conversations. And she was like, "Look at this calendar," and I said, "Oh, okay, let me look at this calendar." She's like, "What do you see?" I was like, "Ooh, I see a lot of red." There were like red lines across stuff, right? I see a lot of red. She's like, "Exactly." I
No
was
me diga, did she track how many days y'all didn't have sex?
So she would cross out the day she didn't get none. So out of a whole month, maybe there was like 2 days that didn't get checked out. So that wasn't the first person that did that. I didn't know that females checked things off on the calendar. So a few years later, I had another female like that. So it wasn't until the second female brought that up to my attention that I actually got to thinking, like, well, hold up, somebody else, like, I love sex. Why is it that I'm not having it? And what I realized was that even though, even though I was happy with my partner and I enjoyed being with her, she was a great person, great conversations, great relationship, good cuddle time, all that. I wasn't attracted physically to them like that. I was with them because they were
A
great,
companion.
but I wasn't attracted to them physically like that. That's why I wasn't having sex with them like that.
Hmm. And seeing that's an important thing. You have to stop sometimes and really go inwards and be like, okay, wait, something doesn't feel right. What is that? And then dissect it.
hmm But I was happy. I was happy in the relationship. It just we wasn't being intimate.
Yeah.
And then I was like, wait, is it me? But then I was in another relationship where it was like I couldn't see her walk by without being like, "Come here, girl. You in there?" So yeah, so it could be a situation like that, you know. And unfortunately, with the older couples, we come. I'm gonna say we because I'm almost there. We come from a time era that's like once you get married, it's till death do you parts. So let's say I was to get married to maybe one of those girls who I wasn't like really physically attracted to like that. It could have went years without anything happening, but we committed now, baby. It's till death do us part. So you know what that means. One of us is
Yikes. I think Raider Girly has a good point. That's more like a friendship. I agree with you. I think the difference between a friendship with, you know, I'm attracted to men, right? So if the difference between a friendship with a man and a relationship with a man is sex, right? Otherwise, that's just your friend or your companion, like we spoke about earlier, right? Relationships is that sexual intimacy is what makes a relationship a relationship. I think that's a good point. But you know, there are some people who are asexual, so that's just not a requirement in a relationship. So that's like a separate subcategory, but I don't think that applies to general population.
right. The majority.
Yeah,
We love sex.
we do.
Why everybody gets so quiet?
I know.
Awkward. Come on, guys. Uh,
Oh my goodness. This is hella fun.
yeah, it's not too bad.
I know. So is this what happens after hours when I'm asleep? Wow.
Yeah. But I don't know. I'll be asleep by 12 o'clock too. So
Damn, you and I are like,
let's talk about cheating. Ooh, Kim. Sounds like you've been hurt before, girl. Are you okay? You need a hug?
what about it? Yo, the calendar has me dead. That's hilarious.
You saw it?
That's really funny.
You're welcome, Beth.
I didn't
This
know
is
girls had calendars. I girlies, I know we have a list of things, if you know what I'm saying. We have a lot of lists. We have a lot of never go into a woman's notes section in her phone because that's where all the shit, all the juicy details are in the notes.
right, right. Yeah, I didn't know women did calendars like that. I thought it might have
Yeah.
just been that girl because she was organized. But then when the
Mm.
other one came with it too, like, damn, y'all keeping track. I thought we were living day by day, not keeping track.
And yeah, Debbie, you're right. What you're missing when you're sleeping, yeah, I'm clearly missing the party. I feel like an old lady. Let's see. Is that the dog? No, my dog is sleeping in her little bed. She was right next to me on all fours in the air. Dead. And then
Lovely.
she got hot, and then she left me. And Jamie's on dad duty.
Dad duties.
Aren't y'all sleepy? And what kind of dog do I have? I'll show you her. I have a German Shepherd mix. This is her. Her name is Mimi. She's 2 years old.
It's only 10:46.
Mm.
Yeah. Sheesh, I wish.
Everyone's doing their laundry.
out of line.
Oh, I'm dead. I'm never gonna look at the dryer the same. That's for
Never
sure.
gonna look at the dryer again the same way.
Jamie, you need to make a shirt with a dryer. Like that has to be our inside joke for this group chat now. And it's like can't talk, busy, like
Right?
something.
Can't talk busy. You see the dryer and like a sheet covering half the.
Is it normal to name your dryer?
DOC.
You guys are hilarious.
Silly. So, any more questions for the lovely doctor here?
What we got? What we got?
New York.
New York.
Oh, all right. So Riri, he was just using you, girl. He was just using you. I'll name it Jamie. You named the dryer Jamie? You're doing me an injustice, girl, because I am way more hotter. So that little crying in the back is the dog. He's in pain. I just gave him drugs.
There's
Man,
a dog. You have a dog?
no, the landlady does.
Okay. Oh my god.
I know he's old. He's like 15.
What happened to the puppy?
He has arthritis.
Oh my god. His back legs don't even work.
I mean, he makes it happen. It just takes a while. You gotta wait till the story's kicking.
Oh my god, that just broke my heart for a second.
I know.
Oh my god, that poor baby.
That's why I don't have animals. That's why I don't have.
I see why now.
Yeah.
Gosh.
Even I even feel bad when the fish flop over. Oh man, there goes another one. I got my daughter these fishes. They
Mm-hmm.
multiply. Now they're like 15.
Oh wow. That's a lot of fish.
Mm-hmm. It's definitely hard when they have issues. That's why I try not to have pets. So a lot of people think that I don't like animals. It's not that I don't like them. It's just I try not to get attached to them or have them myself.
Yeah, it's true. It's really tough. Oh, we got a good question here. What is the most important thing you look for in a relationship? Jamie, you can go first.
Honesty. I look for honesty.
I look for, this is, what do I look for first? Um, wow,
What a great
what,
question.
yeah, that's a good, I'm a little stumped here
That's
because
uh,
um, I kind of go into any match, whether, it's an online dating, you meet someone in person. Obviously, if it's in person, instant attraction, you'll see, are you, is there magnetism towards this person? Are you going to go towards them or not, right? but attractiveness aside, um, I kind of I take the feelings out for a second and I look at it objectively, like, okay, does this man, are we kind of the same personality? Is he communicative? Has he done the work? Is he healed? Is he secure? Is he someone that is ready for a relationship with me? And if those things at baseline is is there, it's intact, then, personality, how do they cater to you? How do they court you? What's your chemistry like? All of that. I think that's like second tier. But I think I zoom out first to see if they're even in a healed mental space to even proceed with me first and foremost. Like, I just had a guy trauma dump on me. Like, we met up and he was telling me about like his baby mom and how he was in this like narcissistic relationship and he just got out and he was healing, and I'm like, what the fuck are you doing here with me? Like, why am I at the table right now? I left so fast. That coconut mojito was mad good. I have never downed a delicious coconut mojito as fast as I downed that one, and I dip set. I was out. So you got to see if someone's ready.
What was that word you used? Drama. What was it?
I dip set. I was out.
No, no, no,
I'm
no. You
like,
said you never had somebody drama drop on you. What was it?
oh, trauma dump.
Trauma dump. You trauma dumped on me. Uh, wow.
Yeah. And I was like, I really put on a face of makeup for this shit. I could have been in bed by 7 p.m. Like, what? What? Why did I do this to myself? You gotta be mad careful.
Long t-shirt and fluffy socks. Damn it.
100%. 100%. Like, I could just be in Mickey Mouse jammies. Like, come on, bruh. Hell no.
Does looks really? They do. They do, Eve.
I think,
We live in a society where even if we didn't live in this society, I think looks matter. And I'm not saying like as far as, oh, you gotta date the most beautiful person in the world. What I'm saying is that the first the first attraction is physical. You have to be attracted to the person physically. And then what you think is attractive and what I think is attractive could be two different things. But there has to be that initial physical attraction in order for anything else to be able to build.
right on the nose. I think more than looks, I think it's attraction because, you know, average people are average. Almost everyone, we're not talking about the supermodels, right? Everything is kind of on a bell curve and everyone kind of falls in the middle. You have like super models on one side and then super trolls on the other side. We're not talking about those people. We're talking about the majority. Average people are average. So you're trying to find an average person because you're average and fall madly in love with that one person, that attractiveness. So looks matter in terms of attractiveness for you. So if you find someone sexy, you just cannot get your hands off this person, yeah, that magnetism matters to you, for you, not to anyone else, but for you only. It's very unique per person.
Sex on a first date.
Hell no. Hell no. And I'll tell you why. Jamie's laughing. Why are you laughing?
Your reply was hilarious. Uh,
Straight face, like,
you said,
nope.
hell no.
Don't even kiss on the first date, bro. Let's just start there.
Uh,
It's all about so there's an entire let me backtrack a little. So there's an entire science behind law of attraction and all of that, right? There's a whole chase, whether you believe it or not. There's this entire game that's happening subconsciously. At the end of the day, women, you are the ones in control. Men will always try to push the boundary with you, always. And you will notice it. I'm going to give you some examples, and you're all of y'all have gone through this, and I can say that with certainty. You sit at a table on a first date, all of a sudden this guy's trying to touch your knee, touch. and you either smack that hand away or you move away or you lean in or whatever. They're gauging, right? They're gauging how far can I push. Then, you're walking. Is he trying to slide his hand on the small of your back? Is he trying to hold your hand? Where is he touching? Or where is the hand going? They will always try to push boundaries to scope you out. Is he leaning to a kiss? Are you leaning back? Or are you like, oh no, we're good? Boundaries, right? So if you go all the way on the first date, what are you gonna do on the second date? You know, I don't even kiss on the first date. First of all, in this pandemic, in this parallelogram, oh no way. Absolutely not.
Let me
Absolutely
do
not.
COVID shots.
Even then, like Eric, you don't know. Listen, you don't know who actively has mouth herpes that hasn't popped out yet.
That's true. That's
Think
true.
about that next time you go on a date. You're gonna hear me say this in your head. But think about it, right? It's like it's realistic because just 2 hours ago you guys were perfect strangers. How do you go from perfect strangers and someone sat across the table from you and shared a meal with you and they're pushing these boundaries and now whoop, they're inside of you? Slow and steady, baby. Slow and steady. Unless, so there's an exception, right? There's an exception. Like, if you are horny, and this is for women, there's that trending TikTok. I can get dick anytime I want. It's fucking true for women, right? If you are horny and you want to guess them, that's a different story. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about courtship and dating. Men who value you will respect your boundaries, but you got to set them. If you don't set them, they assume there's no boundaries and they go as far as they can. So, hell no. Don't even kiss on the first date because you don't want mouth herpes. You gotta be safe. That's what I think. Okay, wait. I saw a lot of y'all comment when I talk my shit. Hold on, I gotta scroll up. Okay. Let's see. uh, I see a lot of that's true. That's true. There probably won't be a second date. COVID is the least of our worries. That's true. There's like a lot of stuff. Hell yeah, nurse in progress. Yo, healthcare workers are mad paranoid. We've seen it all, you know what I'm saying? And so two things about kissing and Rita Curly said I won't go on a date unless I get to know them for at least a month. So kissing, so scientifically, a kiss does tell you a lot. That's actually really true. When you exchange saliva with someone, there's this like subgenetic thing that happens. We analyze saliva and it tells you a lot. Is this person genetically similar to me or are they different? Are they different enough so when we produce healthy offspring or not? All of this happens subconsciously. You don't even know what's happening. That's why some of y'all have kissed people and gotten the ick right away. You're like, oh, and you just stop, right? There's a reason for that genetically, and it's all processed in the background.
Yeah.
So that's one. There's some people you kiss and you can't get enough of them. That means genetically they're compatible to you. So yes, I do agree that a kiss can tell you a lot. And then the second one was I won't go on a date unless I get to know them for at least a month. I think that's fair. I think it really depends on it's person to person. Um, I the way I do it is I kind of gather as much information as I can in the first day or two because when it's hot and steamy and things are there's mutual interest, you're going back and forth, you can get a lot of information very, very quickly. And I see how quickly men ask you on a date, how do they talk to you? If they go straight to sexual things, chances are they're interested in your body and not you. But if they're respectful and they're like, hey, I really want to take you out sometime, blah, 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 and they're really talking to you respectfully, their intentions are probably more long term. And that, if you stick to that, you'll find the right people to date. Jamie, why are you blushing? Juanito wants to know.
I think it was I forgot when that happened. Nah, but I mean, it all depends on the person. I definitely like what you had to say, but I also think it has to do a lot with the person, with the other individual that you guys are going on a date with. If you're going out on a date with somebody who is actually, how do I put it? Okay, if you're talking to somebody and they already have intentions of pursuing you more than just a one night, I don't think that if you were to sleep with them on the first night will alter their um, mindset unless it was super rare. But I don't think that they would really change their mindset of continuing to pursue that relationship any further. Now, if the person or individual you're talking to is just one of those that's just his MO, he's just trying to have sex with you, and you happen just to fall for his game, then yeah, you just slipped into a bad trick. Now, how can you tell the difference? You really can't. Everybody got such good game that you go for it. And
Yeah,
kissing is definitely important. Please try not to drool on the other person while you
yeah,
guys are kissing. That's very important.
that also. I think your first kiss should not be so wet. Like exchange just enough, but you don't need to stick someone your tongue down someone's throat. Once again, they were a stranger just 2 hours ago. Like y'all could decide where you lie on that.
All right. So they're holding up for months now. Look, I'm a strong believer in letting things flow naturally. You guys have to say this over and over again. I don't like putting restrictions. I don't like setting restrictions. So when I hear people say, "Oh, I wait 6 months to have sex. I wait 6 months to have sex," or whatever, I feel that you are setting limitations and you're setting restrictions to letting that natural flow of getting to know each other and dating. So when that happens, I believe that you are missing out on just letting yourself be loose and natural, right? Now, here's the thing. Here's the main thing. You talk to this guy, and he's perfect in every way. You're like, oh my God, I'm gonna marry him. He's it. He's it. He's everything for me, right? He opens the door for me. He buys me flowers. He, I don't know, brings me Starbucks to my job and stuff like that, whatnot. So now you've waited 8 months to give this guy some, right? And then the day finally comes. You got petals all over the bed and the candles lit. You get this Airbnb that's beautiful, and you guys are ready. You know what I mean? He gets the little jelly, the oils, the whatever, and then boom.
Oh my God. By the way, this was the topic. Remember when we decided that
That was the topic.
this was the topic?
Okay, yes. So boom. What now? You've just wasted 8 months. Is that a deal breaker? This guy's perfect in every sense, except and he can't even eat it like that.
Ooh, damn. That's a
What?
dub for me, dog.
That's it? So you just
Hell yeah.
wasted 8 months of your life holding off when you could have found out on the third date and not wasted 8 months.
So I think
No shade. I
there's
said it's not. He don't even get.
so it's there's two folds, right? Like on the first date, if a man really likes you, this is research. Like if a man really likes you, he's gonna be nervous, so nervous around you to a point where he's gonna do whatever it takes to make sure that nothing he does comes off disrespectful. He's not gonna try to touch you. He's not gonna move wrong. You know, everything's gonna be calculated because he's really nervous about disrespecting you. A
Right.
guy who really, really likes you is gonna be like hands to himself unless you initiate, right? So that's like one thing. So say he passed this test, right? Say the first date went really well. I agree with Jamie. I think things need to kind of go their natural course. It shouldn't be like, okay, on day 36 and a half, this is when we're going to do it. I think that's a little silly, right? If there's mutual attraction, it's a slow burn, it's gradually getting to a point where you feel like, okay, I want to exchange this kind of sexual energy with this person, then yeah, I think it's important to explore that before you commit even more time, right? Because that situation is really sad.
She said it's really sad.
No, and I say that because that pretty much very something very similar happened to me. Oh, y'all want a juicy story?
Oh, we want to hear it. No, you're not gonna boil some tea and not give.
And so growing up, I was the goody two shoes, the virgin, always listened to her parents, didn't do anything. I waited until I was engaged. So as I told y'all earlier, that one long distance relationship almost ended up in marriage. This was that one. And I waited. We were together for 2 years. So not only did I not actually know him for 2 years, you know, I was like, this is the man I'm marrying. I'm not waiting anymore. Like, I'm going to do this. And I was 22 or 23. And finally, we did it. And, first time is painful, all of that, blah, 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 of course. It wasn't until we ended and I dated someone else that I realized how fucking awful the sex was because I had no comparison. And that's why you don't wait. Because can you imagine, like, say I did end up marrying this guy, right? Say
That's,
it actually continued, that's all I would have known.
that's crazy.
And can you imagine if you're a virgin and you end up with that's what you're stuck with? Bro, that is the saddest. Like, you might as well just kill me. Like, what the fuck was the point to wait? Like, what did I gain out of this?
You would have been tight the rest of your life.
Literally, for the rest of my life.
Oh, God. So,
Awful.
ladies, be smart. Listen to when the person's talking. Don't be selective here. And, you know, let it flow naturally.
Another t-shirt idea.
Be like,
I can't. Y'all are hilarious.
well, it's 2 o'clock in the morning. I know we're all having fun.
Yeah, I think it's time to wrap it up. Like, final question.
Yeah, one more final question. Let's do it.
Because I feel like we went clubbing. Like, it's 2 a.m.
Right? Jeez.
Wild. Any final questions before we wrap up on this note? This is what we're wrapping up on.
She said, well, if he could work it, yeah, he like,
Work what? Has
uh,
oh, has anyone been with a micro penis? I'm curious.
let's be honest. Let's be honest. Show of hands. Show of hands.
Anyone?
No pinky. Uh,
I have.
Damn.
Like it got embarrassing because it was gonna happen from the back, and I literally asked, "Is it in yet?" And he had already come. I left so fast, let me tell you. This was years ago. Has anyone been with a micro penis?
With a micro penis. With a penis so small that you don't feel it. Let's be honest.
Or that you can't even see it? Anyone? Anyone? Damn, is it just me? Oh, oh, we got some.
Oh man.
I'm sorry for all of our collective losses,
Collective. Yeah, it was horrible. Oh wow, yes. So, yes, damn, so he had a micro penis and he didn't know how to go down?
ooh,
Wow.
yikes,
Sorry, ladies. Sorry.
bro.
Well, we leave you with that thought
On that note,
of the micro penis.
oh, we
And
have our last question.
yeah, what happened to that question? Oh, Rose, there we go.
All right, Rose, you're our last question before we all go to bed. What's your question?
Settle for the tongue. Damn it. Damn, Monica
Monica?
bus. Sheesh.
What's
What?
everyone's thought on young women that aren't sexually active yet?
That's great.
Yeah, it's when they're ready, they're ready. Like
Yeah.
that's
Don't be in a rush to lose your.
mm-mm. You gotta wait till you're ready. Yo, the Puerto Rican knocked me out. Damn, he doesn't represent the culture.
Chula said, my sister had a guy send a picture and it was nothing but head. Damn.
And listen, don't let height fool you because it's usually the tall ones that have the there I've seen a lot of those short guys with really nice shit down there. But guys with
She did say short, right?
I can't.
Uh, anyways, beautiful people, you guys are the best. Let's thank the doctor for her insight and for the facts.
This was
Hopefully,
really,
we'll
really
have
fun.
her again one of these nights.
Yeah, for sure. This was awesome. You guys are so, so, so sweet. Great questions. I would the dryer has me knocked out. Like, let's make a shirt because I need one of those.
I'm on it. Uh,
I love it. Next time we'll start at 7 p.m. So we end at a solid midnight.
right. All right. Well, thank
Awesome.
you guys so much. Kathy, thank you so much for your time. I appreciate it.
No worries. This was really fun. Good night, everyone. You guys are awesome. And great, great
Guys, for the
questions.
love. We appreciate you. And have a blessed night. Talk to you
Ciao,
guys.
ciao.
Mañana.
Ciao.